Happy Wednesday, everybody. So this week I'm going to start with the S&P 500. Today we had the FOMC minutes, and there was a 0.25% rate hike. The market did not like this news, as we can see here. Pretty much sent it in a $2 tailspin at the end of the day. Initially, the reaction was positive, but generally in this kind of market, if there's going to be an increase, I've seen it over and over again. During the end of the day session, it tends to be more to the downside than the upside. So last week, we were pretty much all rage on marijuana stocks, especially TLRY, pretty much in the eyes every single day for the last 2 weeks. Finally had its blow off top moment last week. So this week, it's pretty much just traded sideways for the last few days. So there will be some trades, I feel like, in here, but it's nowhere going to be in the $100 area. I'm thinking mid-70s. As far as a decent kind of bounce trade. So kind of be aware of that. CGC overall pretty much staying above 50. CRON is not as high quality as CGC in my eyes, so it's still hanging around over 10 bucks. But overall, it seems to have cooled off as far as the marijuana sector has gone. Right in the middle of last week, there were quite a few low float names that started to go off. Alt was one of them. And these are the type of names that if there's a lot of money looking in the market, it's very easy to move these names, especially when they've had recent reverse split. So that's something that I've seen just about every single day. There's a new reverse split that's starting to move. So kind of be aware of that. You know, there was Alt. There was GBR. I think it started to do another move as well. And it's usually one and done for these type of things. They buy the float in the morning and then they sell it out through the middle of the day. Because once this action starts, it's hard for traders to not pay attention to these type of moves. So pretty easy to trade these as far as in that aspect. So one of the other things that I'm paying attention to is still coin, and that's a ETF, not technically an ETF because it just tracks like chip makers for Bitcoin mining, and also the overall Bitcoin itself. It's still stuck in this, I would say, 6,000 to 6,500 range, and it's been there for about a month and a half, if not longer, if you want to count in July, and also the lows back in February. So it's a very key level for me. Still anticipating a wash down below 5,000. Just this type of thing needs to wash out people, and the trend, even since 2010, is there's always been that big, gigantic bearish move after a long move up and consolidation. So I'm still anticipating either way, because at this point it's 50-50. It could break higher, could also break lower. Preferably, I'd like to see it break lower for a trade instead of up higher at the moment. So overall, this week has pretty much been action-packed, especially with the marijuana names like TLRY, CRON, CGC. A whole lot hasn't been happening since then, so just kind of keep your eyes peeled for different trades, and I will be back in touch next week.